All right. Everyone, welcome back to the Horror Room. We're live today, and I have a special guest with us. He is a director, and he has two movies that are coming out. One is called Slumber Party, and the other one is called Teddy Cuddles. I have with us Christopher Eric Outridge. Christopher, welcome to the Horror Realm.
Hello, everybody. How are you? It's a pleasure to be here in the horror realm. Hello, all horror realmers. I don't know if you guys have a special name that you call yourselves. Horror realmers, that's what I'll call it.
Yes, that's good. The Rimmers. Let's call the Rimmers. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here with everyone today. This has been a long time coming.
Yes.
Yeah,
Christopher.
long time coming. I'm happy to be here.
Christopher, I'm excited to talk to you. By the way, I'm excited to see these movies, man. I've been seeing the posters for months now, and I'm glad that we're starting getting the wheels in motion.
Definitely. The wheels are in motion here. I mean, but it's not just Slumber Party and Teddy Cuddles. It's also Meat too.
Oh yes, also, a short film.
Yeah, there's also Meat too. Let's see. What to talk about first? Who knows?
Let's go into Teddy Cuddles. Let's go to Teddy Cuddles first. Now, I'm going to start it off with a trailer, with a little sneak peek of Teddy Cuddles. You ready, Christopher?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ready, everyone? All right.
Win.
Something that.
Oops, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
It's
Teddy Cuddles.
It's the campaign for your
Hi, my name is Grace Juliana, and I play Kristen.
My name's Paul Kelly, and I'm the voice of Teddy Cuddles.
Hi, my name is Jordy Skolnick, and I am playing Jacob.
And we are the cast of Teddy Cuddles.
Teddy Cuddles is a short comedy horror film that will make you laugh, it'll make you scream. Now, it all centers around this character, Jacob, who is an avid toy collector, and he purchases a 1985 original Teddy Cuddles teddy bear. Sounds innocent enough, but this teddy bear wreaks havoc on everybody in this film.
And it's a really fun time. It is scary, but it's quite funny. He's actually pretty sexual. Like, it's disturbing.
If you took the movie Chucky and the movie Ted and you mashed them together, you got Teddy Cuddles. We have started a crowdfunding campaign to literally bring Teddy Cuddles to life. And it's broken up into 3 parts.
The first part, Build-A-Bear, in which we actually build the bear. There is no CGI in this.
I repeat, Teddy Cuddles is not CGI. Teddy Cuddles is going to be a live puppet performing on set with us actors.
And we've been talking to several puppeteers who have over 30 years puppeteering experience, places like Sesame Street, things like that. So these guys are going to be the real deal. This is going to be high quality. So we got a great screenplay, we got the voice of Teddy Cuddles, now we need Teddy Cuddles himself.
The second part, Show Me That O-Face, in which we filmed the first 2 scenes of the movie in reverse for an actual trailer.
And third, the whole damn show, when we raise the full budget and we film the movie.
And there are prizes for your donations as well. Signed posters, t-shirts, and for you executive producers out there, dinner with the cast and the director, and your own Teddy Cuddles teddy bear.
The baking company Nefarious Confections will be sponsoring the film with a special perk, a limited edition Teddy Cuddles cookies, available by Halloween.
We know everyone is going to fall in love with Teddy Cuddles, but people, we do not have a movie without the bear. So please, donate today, donate tomorrow, donate in 6 months from now. We would really appreciate your money because we know this movie is going to be good and we cannot wait to get started and film it for you. We know you're going to enjoy it.
Everybody, get out there and donate to the crowdfunding for
crowdfunding campaign. Donate to Teddy Cuddles, crowdfunder, Teddy Cuddles Horror. Teddy Cuddles is, as they said, Teddy Cuddles is a horror comedy short about it. Hey, Apollo. Say hi, Apollo. Hi, Apollo. Teddy Cuddles is a short horror comedy about a very vulgar, very homicidal teddy bear that kills a bunch of 20-somethings. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? Who doesn't want to see a teddy bear murdering people?
I totally want to see that.
Oh yeah, who doesn't want to see that? It's a very, this script has been winning since December 2023, where we won our first Best Screenplay Award for Shockfest Film Festival, excellent film festival. We've been winning, we've won at least 10 Best Short Film Awards for Teddy Cuddles, Best Short Script Awards, Best Short Script Awards, at least 10 since December 2023. And if we didn't win, we got either finalist or second runner-up. And it's about 10 awards right now we've won, which is why, because of all of this, I decided that it's really time to start bringing this script to life. When I wrote the script back in 2022. And as I'm writing it, I'm sitting here, like, other than the obvious of, I really want Paul to be a voice in this. Like, I'm writing the script and all I hear is Paul's voice. every time Teddy Cuddles is talking, I hear Paul Kelly's voice inside my head. Paul Kelly, excellent actor. I'm hearing his voice inside my head playing Teddy Cuddles lines. I'm writing the script. I see Jordy Stolnick, incredible actor as well, another incredible actor. I worked with both of them on Slumber Party. We'll talk about that later. They're both in Slumber Party. But I'm reading the script with both of them in mind. And as I'm reading the script, I'm telling myself, if I ever film this, I'm going to film it one day, but when I film this, Teddy Cuddles is not going to be CGI. Teddy Cuddles is going to be a puppet, performing live on set with the actors. And my team and I, we are dedicated to do that. We are talking with professionals in the industry. You know, I don't want to give away any names, but these are people who have worked with Sesame Street. These are people who have done Crank Yankers. These are people who have done Dark Crystal. We're talking to the professionals. We're gathering. I'm sorry.
No, I forgot.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were going to ask a question. We are talking to the professionals of the industry because, you know, we need the bear. We have great actors. Grace, Jordy, Paul, they're all amazing people. We need the bear to be amazing too. So that's why, yes. It's almost like trying to do Little Shop of Horror without Seymour.
Yes.
You know, like imagine if Seymour was bad in Little Shop of Horror. Yes. You know, everyone around him could be amazing, but if Seymour is bad, you know. So that's why we launched this campaign, to help raise money, to shoot, to not only create Teddy Cuddles, but to shoot this short.
Christopher, I'm an 80s kid, right?
Okay.
And I grew up with Teddy Ruxpin. I had a Teddy Ruxpin. Like, my parents got him. By the way, for you young kids who don't know who Teddy Ruxpin, he was a teddy bear that you could put a tape recorder and his eyes and mouth would move and he would talk. And he was like the it toy. And I remember my parents got that for me. And I still have my Teddy Ruxpin, by the way.
Oh,
and
wow.
he's functional and he works because I took care of my toys growing up.
Oh.
But like, this reminds, I mean, looking back at it now, Teddy Ruxpin was such a creepy idea for a character of a talking teddy bear. And this reminds me, what if Teddy Ruxpin came alive and started fucking murdering people?
Well, I never had a Teddy Ruxpin. Mm-hmm. I know of Teddy Ruxpin, but I've never had one. Most people don't know this, but as a kid, I watched a lot of horror films. I was a huge fan of horror, even as a kid. Most people don't know this doll, but there was a doll called My Buddy.
I had a My Buddy too. I had one. Yeah.
You know, I had a My Buddy because he looked like Chucky. I was that kid. I was the kid who wanted My Buddy because he looked like Chucky. Okay, everyone else is afraid of this because when Chucky came out, everyone's like, "No, I don't want this My Buddy doll anymore." I'm like, "No, I want one now because he looks like Chucky." But when I was a kid, and I'm not afraid to admit this because I still love them now, I was a huge fan of the Care Bears.
I was a Care Bear fan as well.
I was a Care Bear fan. So that's kind of, and Teddy Cuddles is not a Care Bear, by the way.
No.
I made it. I did an April Fool's joke. I don't think some people I think thought that was actually the backstory. But I did an April Fool's joke on April Fool's where I told everyone that Teddy Cuddles is a escaped Care Bear who hated Caroline. Realized that the world was not going to be that all this caring and feeling wasn't going to help the world, and murder is the best way to go. But no, Teddy Cuddles is not a Care Bear. Teddy Cuddles might be as homicidal as Chucky, but Teddy Cuddles is not possessed. He's not a possessed toy. He is an actual toy. He's a toy like Woody and Buzz is a toy. Okay, because the possessed toy thing, the demon in the shape of a doll, of a toy, that's been done to death.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it's been done to death. Like, them rebooting everything all over again.
Demonic toys, all that. I mean, I grew up with all of the toys that was possessed with some kind of demon.
Right. So Teddy Cuddles is not a possessed toy. He's not a demon that's trapped inside of a toy. He is an actual toy. He was an actual toy that was mistreated and is now killing people because of it.
Fucking love it.
Yeah.
All right. You got a comment in from Andrew Outridge.
Yes, that's
love you, bro.
I love it. Oh yes, Teddy Cuddles Cookies. I love you too, Andrew. Andrew, that's my brother over there. I love.
Thanks for watching, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Let's see. The cookies. Yes, so we have a lot of very great perks available for people. Sign posters. These shirts right over here. I'm wearing.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And we also have cookies. Everyone loves cookies.
We all do. Yes.
And yes, everyone loves cookies. And Nefarious Confections. This Sabrina of Nefarious Confections is cooking up delicious vanilla sugar cookies shaped like Teddy Cuddles. You can go on the campaign. You can see the pictures. I'm telling you, the picture is actually, and I was amazed. I was speechless when I saw the picture of these cookies. Let me tell you, like, it looks so good that you can't believe it's real. Like,
you don't want to eat it.
Yeah, you almost, like, from the picture, it's like, is that a real cookie? Is that a 3D render of a cookie? Like, no, like that is actually what the cookie looks like. And she's cooking up some delicious Teddy Cuddles cookies. We just this week we launched the cookies on the campaign. You get 4 cookies for $16 plus shipping and handling. You have until August to order them, and then whether we reach our campaign goal or not, these cookies will show up at your doorstep by Halloween.
Well, I'm getting the fucking cookies. So, by the way, the horror room is getting the fucking cookies. So,
yes, the horror room. Log on.
I love cookies.
Who does not love cookies? Whether it's for your kids,
serial killers, I guess, maybe.
Serial killers, people who belong in mental institutions. Okay. Whether it's maybe Teddy Cuddles didn't have enough cookies in his life.
That's the reason why. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I do run in parents who say that, oh, I don't give my kids sweets. And I'm like, I get that, but like, oh my goodness, are you ruining your kid's life? Like, sweets are just some of the best parts of being a kid.
I mean, I can understand it because you don't want. I'm a father myself. Look at my life. I'm a father myself. But I can understand it. But at the same time, it's like, unless they're allergic to it, which obviously, don't give kids gluten.
Yes.
Unless they're allergic to it, fine. But kids need sweets, and adults need sweets too.
We do, because we're kids too.
There's something called moderation.
Yes.
Just have it in moderation.
Exactly.
4 cookies is not terrible.
Now, Christopher, I do have a question. Okay, when it comes to Teddy Cuddles,
Yeah.
so were you always planning on making this a short film, or was there a part of you was like, you know what, I would like to see a full-length feature? Teddy has more of a story.
I wrote it as a short film originally. And honestly, I didn't think about a feature film until Grace, our lead actress, Grace. I actually met her at Shockfest. And she's incredible. She's done so much for this project already. She's earned her spot big time. Grace Juliana. And
Grace.
she was, shout out to Grace Juliana. She was she believed in this script and believed in me. You're gonna see it in the campaign on our video. She believed in the script and believed in me and wanted to be a part of this project before seeing any of my work.
Wow.
You know, and before even really reading the script, she just saw the summary and she's like, "Oh my God, this sounds incredible. This sounds amazing." You know, but Grace Juliana, she's actually the one at Shockfest during we must have talked for like 2 hours, and it was a very great conversation. Grace Juliana and we were talking, and she was actually the very first one to bring up to me, if I were to make Teddy Cuddles into a feature film, what would that look like? And I started thinking about it, and it didn't take me long, honestly, to figure it out. And I brought it up earlier in this conversation. You know, Teddy Cuddles, if I were to do a feature film, it would be the origin of Teddy Cuddles.
Okay.
Why is Teddy Cuddles the way he is? And I've always known inside my head, Teddy Cuddles is not a possessed doll. Teddy Cuddles is not a demon trapped inside of a teddy bear's body. Teddy Cuddles is a toy. So imagine, and I'm going to blow your mind with this one.
Okay.
Imagine the adult horror movie mashup of Toy Story and Puppet Master.
That's a good one. That's interesting.
That is what a Teddy Cuddles feature film would look like. Again, no CGI, with actual puppets, actual toys playing the toys.
I fucking love that. Listen, first of all, I'm telling you, I think CGI has its place, right? I really do. I think it has its place in like Marvel, like Marvel movies,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
CGI has its place in Marvel movies. Great. Well, I mean, you need CGI. There's a lot of stuff you cannot do practically.
Correct.
At least not without, you know, blowing your budget.
Yes.
Exuberantly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you really want to make an Iron Man suit that can actually fly up to you know, I mean,
we're gonna do
that. Imagine how much that would cost. Who has that kind of money?
And if you damage that motherfucker too, you gotta make a whole nother one. Like, yeah, no one's on that. So it definitely has its place. But I feel like, yeah, in some ways in horror, you have to use CGI. But I love. Listen, once again, I grew up in the 80s, 90s, so I love watching Puppet Master and Demonic Toys. I love watching stop motion and the practical effects. I love that.
The practical, we need practical effects.
We want them to do.
Yeah, we need more practical effects. I myself and my team, we are dedicated to do as much. We are dedicated to practical effects and as much practical effects as humanly possible. You know, and which is actually Meat is an incredible. My short film Meat that we did back in 2017. That's an incredible example of the use of practical effects because of the fact that, and for those of you who have watched Meat, because Meat was one of the entries into the Without Your Head Severed Limbs Film Festival, where it received its streaming debut, actually. Wow. Streaming debut. That was in May. That was in May, I think. May or April. I think it was April. But we received its streaming debut. And when it comes to meat, and talking about practical effects, meat is now a 2-time best kill, best gore winner.
Nice.
It won in the category of Without Your Head, and it was Severed Limbs, and it won at another film festival. So people are praising the gore of this film, and it's all practical effects. Furthermore, the gore, except for I don't want to spoil it, but except for one piece of gore, again, it's all practical, but except for one piece of gore in meat, the actual gore in meat is not prosthetics. The blood, the gore, the organs, the intestines, none of that is prosthetics. It is all 100% cooked and seasoned food.
Nice.
Prepared by my co-producer Amanda Ruiz, who she cooked all of it for hours. And I forget like there's a spoiler alert. There's a liver that is seen. There's you see the livers and intestines more than anything. And those intestines, that's not prosthetics. That is actual hog. The entire thing is hog casing, cooked, seasoned, and stuffed with spaghetti noodles. And she did it all herself.
That's impressive.
Right.
Christopher, I have a question, actually.
Yeah.
As a horror filmmaker, you're doing a lot of this gore, you're doing a lot of this practical effect. Where do you come up with the stick and twisted ways to dismember people in your movies? Like, where does that pop up? I mean, do you watch other horror movies to get inspiration? Or are you just sitting there drinking a beer one night and you're like, yeah, I would love to see somebody fucking eyeball falls out and eat it or something like that. Where does that come from?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Sure. No, I was saying, as a horror filmmaker, you find different ways to dismember and kill your victims.
Okay.
Where does that inspiration come from? Do you watch other horror movies and get ideas, or are you just sitting and drinking a beer one day and be like, you know what? I'm curious what it would be like for somebody's fucking eyeball to fall out and fall in their mouth and eat. Like, so where does that come from? Inspiration for kills in your movies?
Okay, so one, I do not drink.
Okay.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I am like 100% straight edge, and I've been my entire life.
That's awesome.
Like, I've literally had one sip of beer my entire life, hated it, and never drank one again. and never will. And I've never done drugs. Don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. I've never I'm immune to peer pressure. So that's the first thing. Don't do drugs. You can be creative without drugs. You can have a warped imagination without drugs. Now, the second part of your question. When I write, and again, this is going to make me sound like an insane asylum patient. I see, like, I have this very vivid imagination to the point where it's almost like there's this world that exists inside my head. Like actual people, living, breathing people living inside of my head. And when I'm sitting down writing their stories, writing my scripts, it's like I find these people inside my head and I'm a fly on the wall plagiarizing their life.
Interesting.
So when I'm writing these scripts, and I actually started as a writer. Before I became an editor, before I became an editor, before I became a director, before I had any on-set experience, I started off as a writer. And even before that, I started off as an actor. My brothers and sisters and I, we used to play these very lively, my brother Andrew and my sister Alicia, Andrew's listening, still listening right now. he and I and my sister Alicia, we used to act. With Alicia, it was acting X-Men and comics. With my brother Andrew, it was acting wrestling. And just imagine us kids inside of our bedroom for I'm talking hours. I'm not even talking 1-2 hours. I'm talking about afternoons where we're just literally with my sister. Yes, exactly. Andrew and I had our own wrestling federation where we would literally act out an entire episode of Raw. Not the episode of Raw we watched, but we would book it. We would make matches. We would cut promos, everything. With we would play multiple characters too. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm playing The Rock and it's just a whole episode about them. No, we were The Rock. We were Stone Cold. We were Big Show. We were Jericho. We even had guys in WCW and TNA coming in. Like, it's like this it's like a dream. It was literally like acting out fantasy booking in live inside of our, and the thing is, we would also actually wrestle each other too.
Nice.
Like, it wasn't like we would just cut promos and then be like, okay, there's a match. No, we would actually wrestle a match against each other and pinfall everything for an entire afternoon. And then with my sister Alicia, it was the X-Men, where we would literally create our own storylines and act them out. So, and it's not like, okay, I'm going to play this character and it'll just be 2 characters. No, we were acting Cyclops. We were acting Jean, Wolverine, Gambit, Rogue. We were acting all of them. So it all started with that. And my imagination just grew to what I say is this world that lives inside my head, that when I write, I'm plagiarizing. I'm plagiarizing the lives of people that live inside my head, and writing that out on a sheet of paper. So, like, a death inside of my movie is how this person is dying inside of my head, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, all right. Oh my God, he did that? Wow. Okay. Like, it's like, oh my God, that's disturbing. All right, okay. You know.
Have you ever thought of like a death scene in your head and you're like, that's too fucking far, that's too fucking dark?
Even if it is, I write it anyway. Because, you know, there's something about let's see, how should I word this? There's something about authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something about exploring the darkness that also needs to be tasteful. You know, you can go dark, but if it's not tasteful, then, you know, then it's way too disturbing.
What do you mean tasteful?
Tasteful.
Give me an example.
Like, oh man, it's even hard to describe. Like, there's certain extremes that I won't do, that I will never do. Like brutally murdering a kid. It's like, okay, that's bad. Yeah. You know, like don't do that. Yeah. That's bad. Don't do that. You don't want to do that. But if you're, and I wrote this in a script too, if you're taking a wood plane, which I don't know what you know, I actually researched, because I had it. Okay, so in one of my scripts, I had a death scene in mind where I wanted to skin somebody alive.
Okay, that's
right?
painful. Yep.
And the person is hanging nude. It's a guy. This guy is hanging completely nude. And I'm like, okay, what is one of the worst things I can do to skin this person alive? So, and the villain is these woodland people. They're people who live in the woods. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking to myself, what would they naturally have that could skin this person alive. So I did some research online, and I found what is called a wood plane. So a wood plane, imagine a giant, what is almost like a giant shaver, and not like an electric shaver, but like like a Vic
straight razor.
Straight razor. Imagine a giant straight razor with 5-6 blades, but instead of using it to shave your face, you're shaving the wood off of a tree. And that's what the character uses to skin this man alive.
Jeez.
And it's brutal. This movie isn't filmed, by the way. It's a script. It's a feature-length script. The movie is not filmed. But that's just what I came up with. I'm like, hey, this is great. I haven't seen anything like this before. This is awesome. And it's described in detail exactly too in the script. And I think another one of the deaths, what else is these people do so much. I think they scalp another girl. Like this script is bloody and there's a storyline. So it's like, so that I'll do. You know, I'll rip adults to shreds and I'll have all the fun in the world. Even if it pushes the envelope, I'm not nervous about going there. I'll push the envelope. Okay. But I will do it in a way that is tasteful to watch, even if it is disturbing.
I think I'm understanding what you're saying now.
I think
because I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, actually, the perfect example of this is actually in Slumber Party, a short called Fertile Blood. But I didn't write that one, actually. That one was one of our, for Slumber Party, for Slumber Party, I specifically did not want to write all of it. So I held a writing contest to find, scripts to then shoot for Slumber Party. And Fertile Blood, written by Brent Lawrenson, he wrote the script. So I didn't write it, but we filmed it. And part of the reason, and I don't want to give it away, but when I read this guy's script, I was like, wow. Because I literally, and again, I don't want to say why, but it's the perfect example of being disturbing that has to be shot tastefully.
Yes.
Yeah, because I read the script and I was like, wow, I've never seen this before. And I even asked him, because my mind is pretty messed up. And I asked him, I was like, where did you come up with this? And he goes, and his answer, and I will never forget this, he said it in such a nonchalant way. He goes, well, you know, no one's ever did X, so X.
Because I totally agree with you. Like we should talk about tasteful. So like, some horror movies are mean spirited. You know what I mean? It's mean spirited gore and killings and so forth. There's no taste to it. It's tasteless.
Well, question.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to talk about a movie because I keep bringing up people that think I might hate this movie. But like the first Terrifier, like I dislike that movie so much because to me it's tasteless horror. You know, yes, it has the gore candy and so forth, but it's just so mean spirited. It's unforgiving. It's not entertaining. It's so brutal that it's not entertaining to me anyway.
I actually just recently watched Terrifier, the first one and the second one, actually.
I like the second one.
Yeah. I actually just recently watched them. disagree with you.
Okay.
But not in the sense of not in the sense of because one, I don't think they were going for tasteful.
No.
They
But they weren't going for a story. But they weren't going for storyline or character development.
They weren't going for storyline. They weren't going for characterization. When it comes to Terrifier, and I will say I liked Terrifier. I did like Terrifier. I do like the clown. I do like.
Yeah, Art the Clown is a great horror character. Great horror character.
I did like Terrifier, but they weren't going for storyline. And it's one of those movies where I could give it a pass only because it doesn't seem like I can give it a pass only because how do I put this? It's not what they were going for and they knew it. Like there are other films that they really tried to present themselves as serious horror films, and they fall laughably short in the most embarrassing ways. And those are the films that I don't like.
Yes.
But when it comes to something like Terrifier, I kind of go into it where, and I also like to not read much about movies before I watch them.
Say what?
Especially things that I really like, I try to totally avoid. I avoid reviews. I even try to avoid trailers. But when it comes to something like Terrifier, I went into that movie not expecting very much in storyline. But at least I can appreciate it because at least they were serious about their gore. At least they were serious about the presenting of how they presented their character. And it was a horror film where they actually took the time to be a horror film. Unlike a recent horror film that I tried very much to sit through.
Which one?
I don't want to mention the name.
Okay.
Because I have nothing but bad things to say about it.
Is it Winnie the Pooh?
No, actually,
okay. All right.
I liked Winnie the Pooh. Again, Winnie the Pooh is it's not a film that Winnie the Pooh is not a film that you're gonna go into expecting cinematic storytelling.
I hated that movie so much.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. And you know why I enjoyed it? I enjoyed it because, it entertained me and I didn't go into it. It's almost like when you hear a film, Winnie the Pooh and Blood and Honey.
But it wasn't Winnie the Pooh though. It was literally Wrong Turn with some rednecks with a Winnie the Pooh mask. It wasn't a Winnie the Pooh. I wanted to say, herder, I wanted to be Winnie the Pooh. It wasn't Winnie the Pooh.
Him not talking was him. Like if he actually did talk, it would be silly.
Exactly, but I was going into to see a silly horror movie. I mean, think about Winnie the Pooh horror movie. You're expecting to see something silly.
I went into it with a different feeling. I went into it thinking to myself, okay, this isn't. I went into it with the expectation that I'm not. Imagine. Okay, so everyone knows about Sharknado.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, imagine if you were seriously sitting down about to watch Sharknado, a movie called Sharknado, knowing very well that it's about sharks in a tornado, and actually expecting a film of the caliber as Jaws.
No, but I go into Sharknado knowing that I'm going to see something bad but entertaining that I'm going to laugh at and ha ha ha.
Exactly.
But Winnie the Pooh was not good. The acting was horrible. I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't care about any of the characters. Characters were absolutely fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And the kills were bad. The story was bad. Even the costumes were bad, and there was no Winnie the Pooh lore. I didn't even laugh. I didn't even say, "Oh my god, this is funny bad." It was just bad.
Yeah, but for me, and again, I will say this too: the acting was terrible. And when
It was horrendous.
Terrible. There was nothing to go with storyline. I did actually very much enjoy the beginning of it, like their whole cartoon thing.
The little cartoon, that was the best part of the movie.
But I enjoyed it because I enjoyed it because I wasn't expecting a cinematic. I wasn't expecting Wrong Turn, which I liked the first Wrong Turn. I didn't like any of the others. But all of the others should have never been made. But I wasn't going in there expecting Wrong Turn. I was going in there totally expecting something bad. And I liked it. But I'll just say the name of the movie. When it comes to Humpty Dumpty, there's a Humpty Dumpty horror film.
I have not seen it. Where's that at? Is that on Tubi?
It's on Peacock. When it comes to the cult of Humpty Dumpty,
again,
I went.
Write this down.
No, don't watch it. Don't watch it, because if you're talking about how Winnie the Pooh, if you didn't like Winnie the Pooh, you're not going to be able to get through Humpty Dumpty.
Because bad?
The acting is bad. like bad. It's bad. It's not even like college student. It's not even like really bad college student thesis bad. It's bad. The makeup, the horror. It's like, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching this movie and I'm like,
you can't have. Oh, listen. You can't have any horror filmmaker. You can't have bad acting, bad kills, bad effects, and a bad story. You cannot have those. You gotta. I mean, you can have one, maybe two, but you cannot have all fucking four. You can't.
Exactly. And when it comes to Humpty Dumpty, it's very clear 5 minutes in that these people did not take the time to act like you're shooting a horror film. Even if fine, you don't have a budget, okay, fine. Go to a college, find an artist who is in their freshman year who desperately wants a credit.
That's what I say all the time.
You know, who desperately wants a credit, and hire them.
Don't hire a strippy. Don't hire a stripper or OnlyFans model or something like that. That's not going to take it serious.
Take what looks like ketchup, smear it on somebody's neck, and call it a throat slit. It's like, come on. I've never slit any. I've done throat slits in my films. I've never slit anybody's throat in real life, but I know that if you slit somebody's throat, it's not going to just be a line of blood across their neck.
Listen, my day job. Listen,
my
day job.
Serial killer to know that.
My day job, I'm a mortician, right? So, and part of being a mortician is you got to make an incision in someone's jugular vein to drain the blood out. That's pretty much slitting someone's throat. You know what I mean? If you slit somebody's throat, you hinder jugular, you hinder carotid arteries.
Right.
So, and when you make that incision, it fucking gushes like crazy.
Exactly.
So, like, yes, if you're a horror creator, once you slit that fucking throat, it doesn't just drain down. You got to make that motherfucker gush, because that's how it really goes. It fucking gushes.
So please, horror filmmakers, like, if you don't be Humpty Dumpty. It sounds ridiculous.
Now I'm but now you got me intrigued, Christopher. You know I'm gonna watch Humpty Dumpty now.
If you're a horror filmmaker and you don't have a big budget, take the time. Okay, you don't have a big budget. You don't have access to a studio, but you have this huge backyard that's right next to a forest that you can just run in and shoot a film every time. Great. That's awesome. but take your time to, if you're going to have gore, take the time to make sure your gore is quality. It doesn't take a lot to make something really good. You know,
But if you're gonna have bad gore, you gotta have good acting. You gotta have good story.
yeah,
And you
like,
gotta have
you
good
can
other things.
have a good story. Like, take the time to have a good story. Take the time to have good actors. Like,
You don't have to have Oscar, because horror fans are not looking for Oscar award winning actors.
yeah, you don't.
Like I'm gonna be doing a movie review next week of a movie that I watched for Tubi Tuesday,
Yeah.
and like it was literally this. This was the acting, and I could tell they were reading off of a fucking card.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Susie, I cannot believe Bobby has not
That's
showed up.
Humpty Dumpty.
Oh, I cannot know. And I'm like, oh my God, they're literally reading off of a card. And it was an hour and a half of this. And I'm like, whoa. And there's so many indie horror movies that are literally, yes, can you please go? Like, no one even talks like that. No one's deliverance is
Exactly.
like that. It sounds.
And that's Humpty Dumpty. That is Humpty Dumpty.
But that was Winnie the Pooh also. That was Winnie the Pooh also. That was Winnie the Pooh.
It was, but it wasn't nearly as bad as Humpty Dumpty. Not even close. I'm talking night and day.
Christopher, look, this is Winnie the Pooh. Oh my God, it's Winnie the Pooh. Is that Piglet next to him? Oh my goodness!
But I'm telling you, Humpty Dumpty's 10 times worse. Like it is 10 times worse. Like I normally, no matter how bad a film is, I like to watch every film I start the whole way through because but Humpty Dumpty, I couldn't. I was 20 minutes in and I was like,
see, I'm gonna watch it now and give it a review now.
It's a waste of my time. I would rather be scooping my cat's litter right now. I will scoop my cat's litter for an hour rather than watch this movie. You know, there's nothing redeemable.
Because we're watching. Oh my God! Oh my God! There's a killer in the house. That's literally. I was watching like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is bad. Like, come on. And there was a director that said, you know what? That was good. That was really good. Like,
yeah, and
whoa.
The whole time I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about this and I'm like, so somebody actually funded this. Somebody watched this and thought, you know what? I think this is good enough to stream on Peacock. It's like, really?
And Peacock also said, and Peacock even said, crazy thing about Peacock even said, you know what? I want this movie on our channel.
It's like, are we watching the same movie? Like, we're like, really? And also horror filmmakers and filmmakers in general, please pay attention to continuity, because there's one very mainstream, very popular horror film that I hate this movie so much because
Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
What?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No. Hatchet.
Oh.
I hated Hatchet so much. Because
But you like Terrifier? I don't get it.
Keep in mind, I went into both with totally different expectations.
Okay.
I went into Terrifier with very little expectations. I went into Hatchet with expectation of this being good, and it failed.
I give me the Hatchet series and Victor Crowley over Art the Clown. I think Victor Crowley is a fucking ruthless fucking beast.
There's also I always tell people that horror is my favorite genre of film. I love horror movies. even really terrible ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also it's simultaneously my least favorite genre. Because virtually every single film I hate is a horror film. Like a lot of people really love Jeepers Creepers. I don't.
I like the first one.
But I think my dislike for Jeepers Creepers is more because of the fact that, and again, I have nothing against him personally, but I just don't believe, there's nothing in me that believes that Justin Long should be in horror movies.
Oh, what are you talking about? Justin Long's great in horror movies. He was great in Barbarian. Did you see Barbarian?
Yes, I did, and I hated it.
You hated Barbarian?
I hated Barbarian.
I fucking love Barbarian.
I think Barbarian is a film that should have been a 20-minute short.
But you love Terrifier?
Yeah, yes, I hated Barbarian.
Oh, over Terrifier. Over the first Terrifier.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
I hated Barbarian.
Terrifier over Hatchet?
Yes.
Whoa. Okay.
As soon as Justin Long shows up on screen in Barbarian,
mm-hmm.
the entire movie that film should have been a 20-minute short, and it should have ended when you very first see the creature.
I love the mix-up. I love the split of the stories. I thought that was so, and that's a movie that I walked in, did not know anybody, went to the theaters and knew nothing about it, didn't watch any reviews, didn't watch any commercial, just walked in. I thought it was about a fucking barbarian, like fucking killing people or something, just from the title. And I was just completely, because that movie, when I started watching it for the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, I know where this is going to go. And it completely went into a whole, that's one of the movies that I've watched, I'll say recently, the last couple of years, that like, I did not know where that motherfucker was going. Most horror movies are pretty predictable. You know who's gonna, who's the killer, who's gonna survive, they're very predictable. By the way, I wish horror movies became less predictable, like I wish horror movies were less predictable. I would love to see a horror movie where the filmmaker, the asshole jock guy, is the final guy. I would love to fucking see that, because you know what? That actually makes more sense that he would be the final guy. He is the bigger, he's the stronger one. He would be the one who survived in that situation. I would love to see a horror filmmaker go completely out of the norm and use and go more of a logistical way. Who would survive? It wouldn't be the girl with the glasses on that's 95 pounds compared to the 250-pound, 6'7" football player.
Yeah.
I would love to see something shaken up where, holy shit, the fucking jock was the one who survived. But Barbarian was one of those movies that I did not see where that movie was going. The whole entire time, I could not predict where it was going.
When I watched Barbarian, those first 20 minutes, I was very into it. I was watching it. The actress, I forget her name, was great. I think it's Bill Skarsgård.
Yes, that was Bill.
Bill
Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård, he was incredible.
Yes.
Like, I felt the fear. Me personally, if I was that girl, I would have never walked into, this is a red flag. I would have never walked into that. I would have never shared the Airbnb with that guy.
But even the following morning, when she walked out there and seen what that street looked like, I would have grabbed my shit and never came back.
As soon as you walk into this neighborhood, you're like, I would
when
never.
you saw it in broad daylight, I would be like, nope,
exactly.
I'm out of here.
Like, nope, I'm not staying here. I'll find a hotel. There's got to be something.
I'll sleep in my fucking car. I'll sleep in my car.
Not in that neighborhood, but there's got to.
No, but I would have gone somewhere further. By the way, this was in Detroit. There's no safe place in Detroit. But I would go to Ann Arbor. I would go out somewhere in Ann Arbor and park my car at a rest stop or something.
Someplace other than staying in that place with that guy. So that right there is a red flag. But I was very into it. I loved that movie until the twist. And then after that, and then seeing Justin Long, because again, I have nothing against Justin Long. I don't know him personally. I don't think he's this terrible person. I just don't see him as a viable horror movie hero at all. Like, I think he's somebody who, like, if I was a horror movie villain and I saw Justin Long in front of me, I'd laugh. I'd be like, this is the guy. It's like, you said, send me your best, and you said this?
Like, he was a great, by the way, spoiler alert, he was a great, sneaky, cowardly little villain in that movie.
Yeah, but he's just, I haven't liked him. I haven't liked him in any horror film he's ever been in.
I've never seen Tusk. Because he's in Tusk, right? I think he's in Tusk, but I've never seen Tusk.
I actually haven't seen it either. But that's Daniel Radcliffe.
Is that Daniel Radcliffe?
Daniel Radcliffe.
I'm pulling it right now.
Daniel Radcliffe is Tusk.
No, it's Justin Long.
It is?
Yep, it's Justin Long.
Oh man. Well, that doesn't really make me want to say it now, honestly. But I didn't like him in Jeepers Creepers. I did not. I definitely didn't like him in Drag Me to Hell. Like, I think that was.
I like him. I'm a Justin Long fan, so. I'm a Justin Long fan. I am. I love him in Waiting. I love him in shit. What's the He was in it was one where they were going into college. He was lying to his parents about going to acceptance or something like that. Listen, I'm a Justin Long fan, so maybe anytime I see Justin Long on the screen, I smile.
Yeah,
so,
but like me, I'm the exact again. I have nothing against him in person. You know,
I liked him in that one Die Hard movie. He was in the Die Hard movie.
That's not a horror movie. You know,
no, but I'm talking about I love him in everything. I do like Justin Long. I'm a Justin Long fan.
I have no problem with him in films outside of horror. It's just horror movies. It's like, no, just please stop casting this man in horror movies. So when it comes to Barbarian, as soon as the twist starts, that, like, to me, the movie just went, like, it's like they took this really, really good idea and just said, hey, let's just take this totally different script and attach it to the end of this short.
I love it. I love it. By the way, everybody in the comments, please rank the first Terrifier, Hatchet, and Barbarian. There's no way. I'm curious if anybody besides you is going to put Terrifier as number one. There's no way.
Terrifier is number one because it's just. But Barbarian, Hatchet. Like I remember watching this movie and going, it's raining in that shot. It's not raining in this one. It's raining in that shot. It's not raining in this one.
The production value was shitty, but I mean, it was a good. It was a good story.
It's like it's something like that. It's like, why didn't you just not make it rain at all?
Listen, I don't know, but I thought.
But so it's like production value, like blatant. It's like you people had a budget, and no one stopped and said, "Hey, wait a second." It's like, and the character's supposed to be a ghost. And this is the most physically capable ghost I've ever seen, because it's like there's only but so much that suspension.
At least Victor Crowley has a backstory. What is Art the Clown's backstory? What's his backstory?
But you know, who cares? Art the Clown.
I need a fucking backstory. I don't know. I need a backstory, Christopher, when it comes to my villain.
The gore was good. They paid attention.
Teddy Cuddles has a backstory, doesn't he?
Yes, Teddy Cuddles does.
Okay, every good horror character has a backstory. Art the Clown is literally the only one that doesn't have a fucking backstory. I don't give him points. All right, listen, let's go shoot over to Slumber Party. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and play the trailer for that bad boy.
I don't know who I am.
All right.
Yeah. So it's
Tell us
it's our
a little
10
about
second
Slumber
teaser.
Party.
So Slumber Party. Slumber Party is a feature horror anthology film about six women, not young women, but six women who decide to spend a weekend together, revamping their, because these women used to have slumber parties when they were a kid where they would tell scary stories. So they decide as an adult that they're going to get together again. They haven't seen each other in a long time. So they're going to get together and they're going to tell scary stories. And each one of those scary stories is a short film within a film.
Ah.
So it's a horror anthology film featuring 6 feature films. And each film is a different genre. There's Vegan Mary, our creature feature. There's Day 23, which is our action horror. There's Flappy the Clown, which is our horror comedy. There's Fertile Blood, which is our disturbing but done tastefully, and as well as voodoo magic horror. There's Golden Years, which is more of our psychological horror. And then there is Nightmare.
Ooh.
There is Nightmare. Say hi, Diana.
Hi, Diana.
Say hi. Diana
She's
loves.
creepy.
Yes, the Diana doll. Diana doll and Amber, who plays Grace. No, sorry, Amber Picone, who plays Jessica in Nightmare, and Rachel Rose Gilmore, she plays the voice of Diana right here. Then there's Nightmare. Nightmare is the 6th short film in Slumber Party. Nightmare is actually currently on the film festival circuit. I decided to release Nightmare early to generate buzz for Slumber Party, and it's on the film festival circuit right now. Some of you may have even seen it. Nightmare is my homage to the black and white horror cinema, and it's a nightmare. It's a lucid, reoccurring nightmare about a young woman who is slowly losing her soul and her memories to Diana. And it's also out, just like Teddy Cuddles. It's out there on the film festival circuit. It's been winning several awards. It's won 3 awards for best music. The music is incredible. The music in all of Slumber Party is incredible. Okay, the whole film itself is currently in post-production. We're in the very final stages of post-production. Slumber Party was filmed over the course of 5 years.
Wow.
Actually, it's a self-funded film, because I was literally like, there was a time in my life where I was tired of trying to seek money. I was tired of getting rejected, getting people who, like, I can't tell you the amount of people who told me, hey, Chris, as soon as I get a budget, I'm calling you. I'm hiring you. Just to have those people get their budgets, totally forget about me, waste their budgets, come back to me, begging me to help them. But that's a whole other story. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a bet on myself, and I'm going to self-finance my own feature. And that's why I did Slumber Party. We lost 1.5 years in our post-production because of the pandemic. But during that time, since I was home all the time, I literally sat down with my computer and did. I am an editor professionally, but I did a great deal. I did pretty much all the final video post myself.
Is that hard to do? For your own project?
It depends on your definition of hard.
Okay, so because if I was editing, for instance, when it comes to editing, like, isn't it? It must be hard to have not have a second pair of eyes on the process.
Yes, that is difficult. Like, because with me, and this goes with anything, it's like there's a lot of, anytime I write, anytime I'm working on something, I have it shot, edited, cast inside of my head. Okay, and there are some times where I would be looking at something over and over and over again, and my best advice is you have one or two options. You can either, well, three options. You can either keep beating your head against the wall,
Mm-hmm.
which won't help you, or you can just stop, not look at it for months, for like a month, and then come back to it. Or you can hand it off to somebody else and have them look at it. So that's kind of like what I did with Slumber Party. When I finished the rough cut, I handed it off to some trusted friends of mine. And here's the key: you need to find people who are going to give you constructive, and you also need to be able to take constructive criticism.
Yes.
Whether it's good or bad. You don't want to hand your film over to somebody who's going to tell you what you want to hear because you want to hear it. Because that
100%.
Yeah. So I did my rough cut. I handed it off to trusted filmmakers, trusted film reviewers, and I said, I want you to watch this. I want you to tell me what you think. It's not finished. And, you know, and they liked it. They liked it. There were things they didn't like, obviously. I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not hard in a sense that hard to do, but it's hard when you're married to something. That's why you have to give it. That's why a lot of times you have to do your rough cut and then give it to somebody else and be like, take a look at this, tell me what you think, and tell me if I'm on the right track. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. But Slumber Party is, it's each story is so different and each story is very good. And I'm not even tooting my horn here. Like the film reviewer that I gave it to, I won't mention names, but she doesn't even like horror films,
Mm-hmm.
and she's very critical, and she likes Slumber Party.
Wow.
There are things that she didn't like, obviously, but she told me like it is. There was one short where she was about 5 minutes in, and she said, Chris, before I watch the rest of this short, you need to go back into the edit room, cut it down to at least 10 minutes, and then give it back to me because I'm not watching the rest of this. Because, and admittedly, that particular short was way too long. Mm-hmm. And she told me straight out, this short is way too long. You need to cut at least, I'm not talking 5 minutes, I'm talking you need to cut 15 minutes out of the short. And then send it back to me. And that was like the old rough cut before I did any of the video transitions and music and anything. So, but it was Slumber Party is, we lost a year and a half because of the pandemic. But the journey has been very rewarding. And it's currently right now in the very final stages of post. All we got to do is finish mastering the music on 3 of the shorts and then audio master the entire film. And Slumber Party will be completed. Nightmare is completed. And Nightmare is out in the festival circuit right now. As I was saying before, it's already won. It's a 3-time award winner for best music because of the incredible work of our musician, Francis Chicamo. This man is incredible. He is so talented at his craft. I'm telling you this honestly because I am a filmmaker. I understand video. I suck at audio, and I don't understand music. I cannot play a music instrument or sing a note for my life. I actually have had in my life a professional singing teacher tell me that to my face that I might be the only person that she has ever met who is completely incapable of learning how to sing.
Wow.
I do not understand music.
That hurts.
It didn't hurt because I was like, I agree. You're wasting your time.
The only person there?
Like I was like, I agree with you. You're wasting your time. Can I go back to acting class now? But Francis Tricamo, he is so talented that he was able to speak to me about music in a way that made an idiot like me understand it. And his music is, he scored this entire film, 6 different genres of horror, and each one, especially Nightmare, sounds incredibly unique. Sounds like it was scored by a studio filled with a team of musicians when it's just this one man entirely by himself scoring the entire feature film. And he's a 3-time now Best Music winner for Nightmare. My lead actress in Nightmare, Amber Picone, she's now a 2-time Best Actress winner for Nightmare.
Nice.
And we've also won, my actor, John Joyner, he won Best Supporting Actor for his role in Nightmare for The Forgotten, which, by the way, his role in Nightmare, if you watch the film, John Joyner, he won Best Supporting Actor. His entire role was 100% created by him. I went to John, he's a good friend of mine. He's an incredible actor. I went to John and I said, look, I want you to be in this. I believe you can do it. Here's the scene. The only direction I gave John was at the end of your monologue, you have to say, I don't know who I am. That's it. That was his only direction. I did not even know what he was going to do or say until the day we filmed. And the minute I said action. And he won Best Supporting Actor for a character that he came up with entirely by himself. He wardrobe, monologue, everything entirely by himself. John Joyner.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And Nightmare is also, so it's 3-time Best Music, 2-time Best Actress, 1-time Best Supporting Actor, and I think 3-time, she won Best Villain.
Ooh.
She won Best
Congratulations.
Villain. Just look at this. This girl can emote.
Yes.
She can emote. And when you see her in person, she can emote. Like, look at her. She's like, hello.
By the way, so Christopher, where can the audience, I mean, your films they're going to be on the film festival circuit.
So, yeah.
Where we're looking, when will we expect to see it as an audience to see these films?
So, first off, Teddy Cuddles. Again, go to the crowdfunder, donate for Teddy Cuddles. Help us bring the teddy bear to life. No CGI. We're gonna have an actual puppet on set performing with our actors. So go to the Teddy Cuddles campaign, crowdfunder Teddy Cuddles Horror, or go to look at us on Facebook, Teddy Cuddles, so that we can make the short and bring it to you. When it comes to Meat and Nightmare, and Teddy Cuddles actually too, well, the next time you're going to be able to see these films, and Teddy Cuddles is featured as well, is the Thing in the Basement Horror Film Festival.
Where's that at?
It is a virtual festival. It's called The Thing in the Basement.
Okay.
It's a great film festival. The director he's an amazing guy, fellow father. Shout out to you, fellow father. Shout out. He's an amazing guy. The Thing in the Basement Horror Film Festival. They're going to be streaming Meat and Nightmare and featuring Teddy Cuddles. They're featuring I believe the campaign. I believe you're going to be able to watch the campaign video too, because Teddy Cuddles is up for Best Short Script in that one. But that's the next time you're going to be able to watch both Nightmare and Meat, which is, I believe, the virtual festival starts on the 30th, June 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to the end of July. So you'll have an entire month. I think you'll have the entire month from the end of June to the end of July to watch both Meat and Nightmare. And also Teddy Cuddles will be featured. That's the next opportunity you're going to be able to watch those films. For anything else, follow me on Instagram at CEO Film Productions. Go to Facebook, Christopher Eric Outridge. Look up Slumber Party. You can go to slumberpartythemovie.com. That's our official website for Slumber Party, slumberpartythemovie.com, to get all the news. Slumber Party itself, as I said, we're in post-production, the very final stages of post-production. I'm very much hoping that I can get this film will be done by the end of this year so that in 2025, Slumber Party can, and maybe even another short in Slumber Party, maybe even another short simultaneously, will also enter the film festival circuit, hopefully by 2025.
Fucking love it. Listen, everybody, get over and support the crowdfunding for Teddy Cuddles. And also support Christopher on social media and look out for Slumber Party as well as Meat.
And support
Also,
and support Nefarious Confections too, because she's a local business. Support
yes.
Yes, support Nefarious Confections and order Teddy Cuddles cookies, because she's a local business. Order Teddy Cuddles cookies through our campaign because she is a local business. She's not some big conglomerate. She's an extremely, extremely talented baker who has started her own business, and she's baking these cookies for us and for you exclusively. Her work is amazing. It tastes delicious, and these cookies. These cookies look so real that they look like a 3D render. You're not even gonna want to eat them. You're gonna want to put them on a ledge and display them. Line them up like a little army of teddy bear toys, and they hold a knife, a fondant knife. So support, not just support independent film, not just support me, because and again, and I say this all the time because people, and I want to make this clear, because we've won a lot of awards. Teddy Cuddles has won a ton of awards for Best Short Screenplay. Meat has won for Best Kill, Best Gore. Nightmare has won. Slumber Party has won all these awards. And everybody keeps coming up to me. Congratulations, Chris. Congratulations, Chris. Congratulations, Chris. And the one thing I say almost 99.9% after everybody congratulates me, I tell people, it's not just me. Don't just congratulate me. Say thank you to Amanda Ruiz, who spent hours cooking all of that food for Meat that we can use blood and gore. Thank Amber Picone, who allowed me who ran through the woods for hours, allowed people to scream at her face, lift her off the ground and hold her hostage, and so that she could make Nightmare. Thank my Slumber Party princesses, Rachel, Kristen, Anais, Cassie, and Jackie and Jenny. Thank them for dedicating their time to acting in Slumber Party. Thank Grace, thank Paul, thank Jordy for wanting to be a part of Teddy Cuddles and taking the time to promote this script. It's not just me. I won a Best Director award for I won Best Director for Nightmare too. And it's my very first Best Director award ever. And it's it's right here. It's right here. See? Best Director for Nightmare.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And this This is my very coveted, my very first trophy for Teddy Cuddles, right over here from Shockfest Film Festival.
Nice.
Again, amazing film festival, horror filmmakers, Shockfest Film Festival. I can't stress that enough. But my Best Director award, I won it, and it's like I would not have gotten that award if a director's performance is based off of the performance of their team. I would not have gotten that award if it wasn't for Amber Picone, John Murphy, Ilya Zenzelis, Francis Tricamo, John Joyner, Paul Kelly, Mariah Van Beekman, Irene Santos, Rio Rocket. I would not have gotten that award if it wasn't for them. Leroy Rivera, who wrote Nightmare, because I didn't write Nightmare, he did. So again, like, you're not just supporting Christopher Outridge. Christopher Outridge, I might be the director, I might be the producer, but I'm just one person on a team of extremely talented people who want to deliver quality horror to you. And support me. By supporting me, you're supporting 20 other people who want to make movies. And you're also supporting Nefarious Confections and her baking business by ordering these Teddy Cuddles cookies. So again, it's you're not just supporting me. You're supporting all of us.
And a horror room, like I do with every indie creator I interview, I will be supporting and grabbing some of those delicious cookies.
Excellent. Please do. It's available for the first 20 people, first 20 customers. If we sell out the 20 before August, I will reopen it up for another 20.
Good.
So if we sell out before August, I will reopen for another 20. And again, I want to stress this, whether the campaign makes their money or not, you will have your cookies by Halloween.
Awesome. Everybody, get over there and support right now. Christopher, this has been an absolute blast having you on, man. This was fun.
Yes, thank you. I'll come on again. There's a lot to say.
Yes, we learned a lot about Christopher.
Yes.
He enjoyed Winnie the Pooh and Terrifier, but disliked Barbarian and Hatchet.
It's you just can't have. Again, I feel so bad saying this. I hope Justin Long isn't listening, but you just can't.
If Justin Long is listening, that'd be fucking awesome. I doubt it, but that'd be fucking awesome. I fucking love Justin Long. I said that'd be awesome if Justin Long actually was.
I have nothing against you as a person, Justin Long. Just please stay out of horror movies. Please.
I love Justin Long.
I just don't find him as a believable horror movie character, hero. I just don't. Like, if I was a murderer, he'd be the very first person I'd kill. Like, I would. Maybe not the very first. Maybe I would just kind of like, it's like, let me go kill these other people, and if you happen to get in the way. Then I
look his face. I look his face. He's like, oh, I don't know. Just something about Justin Long. I fucking like. I like him every fucking movie.
What do you think? Like, would you want to steal Justin Long's memories and soul? Would it be? She doesn't even want to answer the question. She doesn't see. She doesn't even want to answer the question. Like, she's like, she's like, I'm not. Don't put me on the spot like that.
By the way, everyone, please like and subscribe to the Horror Realm. By the way, because by liking and subscribing, it helps the Horror Realm give back to indie horror creators. When you subscribe to my channel, it goes directly back to indie horror creators. So please do that.
You have to support independent horror, because in this day and age where we've seen Freddy Krueger and Jason and Michael Myers rebooted and redone about 1 million times over, and as much as I hate to put my all-time favorite horror villain into this, more Saws. Saw. They are making more.
Yes.
I really wish they
I was
would.
hoping they would end it X, but
but again, I love you, Jigsaw. By the way, for those of you who don't know this already, I am a massive Saw fan. Like,
well, I'm going to show you something. Since you're a massive Saw fan, I'm going to grab something real quick. I'm going to show you.
Okay.
This is my
Billy,
and it's
hi,
autographed
Billy!
by Tobin Bell.
I'm jealous.
Yes.
I'm jealous. Hi, Billy.
Yes, I'm a huge collector of. I mean, I got all kind of fucking masks autographed. This is my Michael Myers mask. It's autographed by every single actor that's ever played Michael Myers.
Oh,
so like,
awesome!
I'm a huge autograph collector.
Yeah, I am Saw 1, the first one. Saw 1 holds the record for the most amount of times I have seen a movie in theaters of any.
Really?
Yes, I Saw in theaters 5 times. That's the most I've seen a single movie inside of theaters. The only film that came close was X-Men Apocalypse. And X-Men Apocalypse is at 4. And the only reason why I didn't go and see X-Men Apocalypse again is because I did not want that film to beat Saw's record or even tie with Saw. Or else I would go again. But Saw holds the record for the most amount of times I've seen a film in movie theaters. It holds the record for the most amount of time I've seen a film, period. Because let me tell you, Saw 1, I can't count how many times I've seen this movie. The first time I bought it, I watched it every night for a week. No matter what time I came home, I watched it every night for a week. I saw it 5 times in the movie theaters. I saw it at least once a year, every single year that a new Saw film came, because every time a new Saw film come out, I would watch all of the Saw movies in succession. I would dedicate a day to sitting down on my couch, watching every single Saw film in succession, and then going to the theater directly after, no matter what time it is, and seeing the new one. Anytime I saw Saw 1 on television, I watched it. Anytime I just felt like putting it on, I watched it. I watched my original Saw DVD so much that I actually aged the DVD to the point where it skips an entire scene in the movie. The scene where Lee Winland's character gets caught by Amanda. I've watched my original Saw DVD so much that it skips over that entire scene because I aged the DVD.
Okay, I've never watched a horror movie that much. I've watched Bloodsport that much.
Did you cut out? I think you cut out. Travis?
Lose connection. All right, I think we're back.
Okay.
I don't know. All right, listen. All right, listen.
Yeah.
First of all, once again, it's been an absolute blast, everyone. Listen, everybody, get over to the Indiegogo social media and please support.
Teddy Cuddles, crowdfunder Teddy Cuddles Horror. Look at Teddy Cuddles on Facebook. Look at Slumber Party on Facebook. SlumberPartyTheMovie.com. Go to my Instagram at CEL Film Productions. Find out everything you need to know. And get those cookies, Nefarious Confections cookies. Get those cookies. Support independent film and independent businesses.
Amen. All right, everybody, thank you for coming to the Horror Realm live. I'm Travis Bruce, and that is Christopher Outridge.
Bye.
And that's my little friend.
And that's all right. All right, everybody.
Yeah, see you guys next time. Take care.